Today I'm at Harrogate Golf Club with channel favourite Tom Irwin to talk you through the best putters of 2025. Now there's loads of different putters out there on the market, so what we've done is categorise them to make them a little bit simpler. We're going to talk through best blade, best mallet, best zero torque and best budget putters. Right, let's go see Tom and get started.
Right, I am in dire need of a new putter, so this could not have come at a better time.
So what is it you've been struggling with? Pace or line or a mixture of both?
Well, I don't know, is it possible to struggle with all of them? Distance control,
Yeah.
can't seem to hit the thing the same distance more than once in a row.
Okay.
I seem to become abysmal on like very short putts.
Right.
And I'm best from sort of 8 feet, pretty good from 8 feet.
Expectations low, but you still might knock a few in.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, so we've got 4 different categories to go through: blade, mallet, zero torque, and then budget.
Yeah.
We're going to start with traditional blade.
Okay.
So I've done all the putter testing, and the winner of my best blade is the Toulon.
Right, okay.
Toulon Hollywood putter. So Toulon worked for Odyssey previously and has left.
Yeah.
To sort of set up his own custom thing. I still think that is maybe partly funded by Odyssey in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got sort of nice, small, compact head, dot sight line, but no line. This is sort of like as trad and as cool as it comes.
So I think instinctively I want to use a blade.
Yeah.
Like I've still got very, very fond memories of like a ping zing from when I was sort of 16, 17.
You've grown up pre-mallet times.
And absolutely loved it, and that actually looks very sort of pingy, doesn't it? Nowadays, you pick up a blade and you just sort of think, "Wow, I'm missing a bit." Look, that's going to be hard.
We are sort of certainly seeing fewer and fewer blades, certainly out on tour and just in the hands of golfers.
Are we allowed to hit putts?
Yeah, let's hit some. So what do you think behind the ball?
I really like this sort of simple dot on the top.
Yep. No line.
Don't mind that at all.
So you've been using a zero torque for a bit, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Since the start.
I've tried a few different things. I've used a Scotty Newport for like ever, basically.
Yeah, that was like a mid mallet though, wasn't it? It wasn't a blade.
Yeah, and then I've tried using the square to square. I used the Odyssey square to square, the double wide, which I quite liked. And then I've been using a tailor-made Spider, the Scotty prototype.
Oh yeah, that's not zero torque, is it?
Which is not zero torque. It's more like a blade than it is like a mallet, even though it looks like a mallet.
Yeah.
And then I've put in the new tailor-made zero torque.
So how does it feel going from a zero torque or a sort of mallet style back into a blade?
So I'm a big fan of the zero torque. I think they're very easy to stroke.
Yeah.
I think they actually help you stroke because I think you become less concerned about your stroke because it's all sort of happening for you.
Feels like it's doing it for you.
And you're not fighting putter characteristics. That's what it feels like. So I always think that, like at one point when I was younger, I used to have one of those never compromise putters, which were kind of helping you arc. Like they had lines on that made it look like you wanted to arc.
Yeah.
And I always think with almost any putter that I fit up, I'm sort of panicking about, is it going to fit my stroke or not? Whereas I feel like with the zero torque stuff, however you stroke it, whether you arc it or whether you square to square, it's kind of helping you.
Right.
This feels lovely actually. Sits lovely, doesn't it?
Sits really good. I think in terms of like as clean as it possibly comes,
Yeah.
that's as good as it gets.
And no insert, which I'm a big fan of.
No insert, but there is some milling, so the milling makes the face feel softer, so you don't need an insert.
Yeah.
But it's literally just like one block of material milled down into that shape.
The concern with going to something which is very bladey, because I mean this is very small,
Very
isn't it?
small, yeah.
It's just, what's it like on off-centre hits? That was like at a toe. Like what's the speed control like? Pretty good.
Yeah, so that is obviously when you're trying to decide between mallet and blade in head style, you basically are choosing forgiving versus less forgiving.
Yeah.
So a putter like this, which basically is like zero technology in it, is like as least forgiving as possible, if you like.
Yeah.
Which is why that's why we're seeing blade usage on tour decrease, just because I think people are realising that, you know, why use something that makes it harder.
Yeah. I mean, that is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
so
also
like,
it's also got a very thin grip.
great grip, really good high quality grip, black shaft, black head. It's just like, so it's like 11 out of 10 for looks, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then when you're hitting putts with it, it feels fantastic. And actually, I'm a huge fan of no sight line. I just like the dots so simple.
It gets you, like, one of the things I just think you get obsessed with, like, tiny details with putting. So you're kind of like trying to get the line perfect, and you want everything to be perfect. Then it just gets so tense.
Yeah.
And I think often if you go to something simpler, like you just sort of think, oh, I'll put it like you're at Crazy Golf or something, because you just sort of put with much more freedom.
I certainly, my own, so that's the putter that I've put in the bag from doing the testing. And I found that my short putting is dramatically better. No line on the ball, no line on the putter.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the line on the putter looks left to me, so I'm like freaking out about have I got it aimed up straight. Whereas that thing, I just feel like I'm pointing it straight, make my stroke and go.
So I think that sits lovely. I love the colouring of it.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
I like the little thin grip, actually.
Right, let's move on.
It's lovely.
You happy
I
with
feel
that?
like it's too lovely for me.
Perfect.
I think it's something I should look at but not touch.
Let's, so this is, it's almost like a collector's item, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd have it in your office, you'd waggle it around and go, yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
And then you put it back, go back to your mallet.
Yeah.
Right, let's go hit some mallets. The winner of our best mallet is the TaylorMade Spider. So quite hard to sort of go with anything else other than that, really, because of like how successful it's been, like at the local club and also out on tour. Just with the great sight lines and just the quality of the build.
I think it's, for me, the Spider sort of franchise has been so successful because it helps you so much with alignment.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very easy to get the thing pointing in the right place.
Absolutely.
Which is obviously a huge part of the whole thing with putting.
Yeah.
This one's a tiny bit shorter than standard because it's for me.
Yeah.
And I just think that whilst we obviously have got a lot of stuff helping you line the ball up, like it is unbelievably simple, like the pure black.
Yeah.
It's a kind of very, very good looking putter, isn't it?
Yeah. And the sort of the regular Spiders, not your sort of Tour Proto thing.
Yeah.
Has a white and black sort of alignment aid, which is, I think, a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It also has the true roll face insert, which yours doesn't have, but again, is really good for getting the ball rolling well.
Yeah. So this particular one is I think it's called a Scotty prototype. So it's been built for Scheffler, so people will remember McIlroy saying he doesn't understand why Scotty Scheffler doesn't use a mallet, so Scotty Scheffler thought, oh yeah, maybe I will, and then started winning all the time. But he was coming out of a blade, so TaylorMade basically built him this, so it's got very blade type characteristics. So most Spiders, this weight is actually helping off centre hits, and it's kind of, if you're hitting it out of the heel or the toe, then the weight is sort of improving the stability and improving the distance control. But in this, these weights are just for show, basically. So it performs very much like a blade. So really, that is the only bit of the putter that's working for you.
Yeah.
So the feedback of it is ridiculous. Like, you know if you've hit it out of the middle, you know if it's hit out of the toe, because the feel is totally different. So I've found it very easy to use on fast greens.
Okay.
Where I'm not having to hit the ball, and I'm just totally focused on stroke and contact and getting the thing started online.
Yeah.
And then it's been an absolute pleasure to use. Like, so I played at the Grove the other week with it in a scramble, which again, sort of, you're playing in scramble as 4 goes at a putt, you probably put it with a bit more freedom.
Yeah.
I was playing on fast greens, hit in the middle of the putt a lot, putted like God. Where I've struggled with it is where I've had to hit putts, and therefore my strike's gone, and I'm just not quite good enough, I don't think. But it's just one of these putters that you really, really want to hit putts with, because it's telling you a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've enjoyed using it. And it's interesting that we've gone from blade to mallet. Like I think, like I said at the start, I think I'll be instinctively someone who would pick up a blade and want to use it.
Yeah.
But these days, it's very hard to do that, isn't it? Because so many people use a mallet.
Yeah, I mean, when the best player in the world goes from blade to mallet and then starts putting infinitely better, it's hard to ignore. I think the people that sort of have stayed in blade are the people that are adamant that they just want the look. It's more a look and feel thing. And there's also this whole idea that people have got in their heads that like the feel on a blade is better, and it's more of like a touch thing than a mallet, which is a bit more. I think would generally a mallet is for someone who needs help with the short putts, and you'd put someone in a blade if they need help with the long putts.
So I think for me that the difference between that blade mallet thing is a little bit like the difference between using blades and very game improvement irons.
Correct, yeah.
Is that you're kind of looking down at something there's kind of a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you think about some of the fattest irons, I often think, I'm just going to fat that because there's too much club.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit the same with putters for me. It's like, well, how can I putt with that? I was going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
But I think once you get used to a mallet, particularly on middle distance and longer putts, they are a lot easier to use.
Yeah. So like the higher MOI just makes it more forgiving, and generally a bigger sight line makes it easier to point in the right direction.
Yeah.
So this one, most other spiders come with a super stroke grip, which is like a nice touch. Again, a lot of mallets are generally going to bigger grips nowadays. This one doesn't, but if you went into a pro shop and looked at mallets, they're all sort of fatter gripped.
Yeah.
And again, the idea is quieter hands, easier to keep square.
Yeah.
Superstroke have killed it, haven't they, in the last 10 years?
They have, yeah. I mean, one thing I would just ask people to watch out for is that, like, unstand quiet hands, you do still have to get the toe turning over a bit there, don't you?
Yeah,
You have to release the head.
Whether you've got a blade, a mallet, or a zero torque, like the putter doesn't really swing itself. You still have to do, your hands are moving, your wrists are moving, your elbows are moving. So like you are controlling the putter as much as anything else. Wow, there you go.
Rock solid.
Rock solid.
That's why it's in my bag.
That's why best mallet putter. Another, you've got, this is quite a cool one. This is also could be like a trophy case edition putter, couldn't it?
It is, yeah.
Looks great. We like a black shaft, black head, black grip, don't we? Yeah. Just beautiful that. Right, let's go on to zero torque so you can talk about how much better you feel with zero face rotation.
This is brand spankers, absolutely hot off the press, isn't it? When did it launch? Last week? Week before?
Yep. Oh, it's pretty much brand new. Well, it is brand new. A lot of people have never seen it or even tried it yet, so you're lucky.
So Lab Golf basically decided that zero torque putters.
Well, I don't think Lab were the first, were they?
Were they not?
Because Odyssey had toe up putters, didn't they?
Oh.
Way back when.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lab was originally called Directed Force as well. So it's been around for ages, but it has very recently, they sort of like rebranded themselves as Lab and have sort of made it big time basically. And then that has then sparked a whole industry panic where all the major putter manufacturers have then had to do something similar. So we've seen it from Odyssey, were probably the first to get on it, and then PXG, Even Roll, Titleist do one but won't show anybody it, and now TaylorMade have brought one to market.
Scotty Cameron have done one, have they?
There's one floating around on tour, which is a Scotty Cameron.
It's not available yet.
No one, no one's seen it. No one will talk to me about it.
Okay.
Basically.
And just explain some of the many advantages of zero torque.
So, the idea is that a zero torque on a blade where you have toe hang, when you swing the putter, the face wants to open, and then you have to close it. With a face balance putter, there's less of that. But with a zero torque putter, the idea is the putter in your hands wants to stay more square, so there's much less face rotation, probably wants to be used with like much less arc to the stroke, and the idea is it's easier to get putts started online because the face isn't rotating.
So it's interesting you say that about the arc. So I think that is what people understand, is that if you've got a very square to square stroke, why would you not have a square to square putter?
Yeah.
Because obviously it's then helping you.
Yeah.
What the people who design these things tell me is that even if you're someone who is arcing your stroke, the square to square putter is basically helping it stay square to that arc.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make loads of sense, does it? But
makes sense to me.
being someone who I think arcs a bit,
Yeah, you're a bit of an archer.
that I have enjoyed using square-to-square putters when I have used them.
So there's different ways of making a putter zero torque, right? So on that putter, which is similar to the Lab and similar to the Odyssey square to square, the shaft just goes directly into the centre of gravity of the head, which then gives it the zero torque properties, where other companies have done sort of funky things with the hosel, and they're still pointing the shaft directly into the sort of centre of gravity of the putter, but the shaft actually attaches to the head,
Yeah.
where a normal putter would.
Yeah.
Now, I think they all look a bit strange, personally, but having tested all of the zero torque putters, the TaylorMade Zero Torque is my favourite, and I've given that the best zero torque putter title. So the Labs for me, the shape of them's a bit strange. Like, I understand why they are shaped the way they are, but the shapes are all a little bit weird, and I think the faces are really soft, which might be great when the greens are super fast, but you know, playing in England in January, sort of not great.
Yeah.
The Odysseys were really, really good as well, to be fair. The PXGs I also quite liked, and the even roll thing, I mean, it's a bit wild to look at, but also sort of performed very well. But that thing just has like the right balance, the right weight. You know, it's a similar shape. It's still got the pure roll face technology. So hard to look past this one.
So I think it's probably worth saying this is still, TaylorMade would still say that's a Spider head.
Yeah, it is in the Spider family, definitely.
And it's I would say it's like quite a compact Spider head.
Yeah.
And
Short, well, it's compact, sort of front to back, but I wouldn't say toe to heel. It's probably the same.
front to back. And then I had a few putts with it last night, and it just feels like a sort of a broom, like you sort of
you sweep it
sweeping
in.
things up.
Yeah. I can see that.
I just think I don't have to worry about doing something weird with my backstroke because it just doesn't let you do it. That's what it feels like to me. Like sometimes when I'm playing golf and I sort of make my backstroke with my putter, I'm like, what the hell have I done there? It's like out here, and then I'm like trying to manipulate it, and I just don't ever get that feeling with these. I just think you just sort of stand there and bump, bump, bump.
So my perspective, or my own view on the zero torque stuff is, if you're looking for a different feel and you're looking for something different because your putting hasn't been great,
Yeah.
I think these are like an excellent option to try, because they do feel very different to stroke. Like, they do give you that sensation that the face isn't rotating at all.
Yeah.
And I believe they make you want to sort of swing it a bit straighter.
What's this one like on off-centre hits, do we think?
Well, so TaylorMade have done loads of work on the weighting on that. So in theory, a toe and a heel strike would still be pretty good.
That was supposed to be a toe. That is pretty good, isn't it?
The way they've designed the grooves are sort of like variable thickness. So again, you should get a relatively good ball speed from toe and heel.
That's out the heel.
Depending on how like toey or how heel you've hit it. But when you have a centre shaft putter, naturally they aren't quite as good off the toe and heel, but there's weights on the sole of the putter to counteract that.
So that's coming off better out of the toe and the heel than it is out the middle.
So talk to me about aim on these ones.
There's not loads of alignment, are there? But the whole thing's like an alignment aid, isn't it?
So I would say having the shaft go in behind the face generally makes me feel like the putter's aiming left. Now, I do think some of these off-centre grips help with that. Like, that does have an off-centre grip. So, you're happy with that?
Yeah, I like the look of it. I think it looks cool. That will be in my bag.
Fair enough. That's that then. Right. Let's go now to best budget putter. So, best budget putter, we've got the Rife Black Edition series. This is a blade, but there are other head shapes available. They are an absolute bargain price of £149.
Right.
Now, there is some technology in these putters, so it's not just literally just a block of metal.
Got a very pronounced pistol grip.
You happy with that or not?
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's very pronounced. So this feels light.
Yep. Well, certainly going from zero torque back to blade, zero torque putters are much heavier in the head, just because of how they have to weight them to get the sort of like the zero torque property. Oh no.
That's pure, that, isn't it?
Oh no. We're back on blades.
Feels very sort of charcoal-y, the head.
Yeah, matte black.
Yeah.
So the good news is you'll be able to sell those 1,500 quid worth of putters and buy 10 of these rifes.
Got an unbelievable, like, milled
Roll groove technology, that's called.
Very kind of like shave with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sandpaper.
It's sharp. So what we're looking for in like the budget category is like something that still looks good, something that sort of still feels like you're using like high quality, you know, components. So we're back on, you know, black shaft, black grip, black head.
And that's their own grip.
Yep.
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yep.
Tacky, feels good.
And actually, when I tested this, I really liked how, like, the line contrast, the matte black, like you say, charcoaly. The white line's very pronounced, isn't it?
Do you like the head shape actually? That sort of.
That was out of the middle, wasn't it?
That sort of
Flushed it like a fly, that one almost.
almost sits like the toes up.
I'd sort of think, my own personal belief is when you have a blade in your hand, you sort of like want to whistle it around like Sevi. You walk around like you've got a great feel. Whereas when you've got a mallet, you feel like a robot.
Well, I just think you feel like you've failed in life. You're sort of thinking, it's like having a walking stick, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've reached a certain age, you've got a putter that's got loads of help in it because you need loads of help. Whereas with this, you feel sort of young and virile again.
Yeah.
And like you're in control of what's going on here.
So how does this feel directly compared to the zero torque?
It feels clicky, man.
Yeah, off the face?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
In a sort of good way, like I think this is now my chance to say my thing about putting on. I think a lot of putters are designed, and a lot of putter technology and a lot of putter thinking is done with Americans in mind.
Yeah.
And American greens, which are purer and faster, and you never have to wallop it.
Yeah.
And then I think you come here, and all of a sudden you've got like a 25-footer uphill in the winter where the greens are stimping at like 7, and there's dew on them, and you basically got to do a full backswing.
Yeah.
And the technology's not quite the same, is it? It's not optimal.
No.
Whereas this feels sort of something where you'll be like, well, yeah, I can whack that up a hill because there's not as much head and it's coming off pretty nice.
Nice. It's good, that.
That's a win.
Yeah.
A win.
Huge.
That won your best.
Best budget.
Yeah.
Best budget. And you can see, you know, it's good. Like, it's really, really good. Like, and it feels, you know, the shape of it's right. You know, it looks quality and it rolls well, doesn't it?
It
So
does,
like
yeah.
you know, like I say, for 149 pounds, it's like really good.
Yeah.
Right, let's just whip through now some honourable mentions of putters that are really good. There's some great putters out there, isn't there?
So I think of all of the stuff we've talked about, I think there's definitely something in the blade being quite freeing for your stroke.
Yep.
I think the sort of simplicity of it, the smaller head, the kind of just the sort of, the smaller grip generally, just the association with like putting when you were a kid, like makes you just sort of think, well, this is just something where you need to put with some freedom. I think all of the technology and all of the accoutrements that come with a mallet head are kind of helping you, aren't they? But you have to, I think, be able to bring that same freedom to put in with a mallet and get away from the idea that everything has to be perfect.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's just like a confidence thing, isn't it? Like when you stand there with a blade, you just want to like whip it in. And if you could take that same confidence to your mallet performance, it'd be similar. You've got lots of different things going on, haven't you? You've got the forgiveness and the alignment that comes with a better mallet. You've also got the zero torque thing. Of like feeling like you've got a more square face, but there's loads. There's just, I think that what you almost have to do if you're going to go try a new putter is like do what we've done here and bring one of everything out onto the putting green, and hit putts with everything.
Yeah,
like,
because there are some like where you just pick it up and you go no.
Yeah.
And that is just that because the putters are so personal, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, it's got the putting in theory is like the most simple thing we do in golf because it's like a flat face, no loft. We don't have to hit it in the air. You just have to you've got to love what you're putting behind the ball.
Yeah.
Would be where I would start, and then sort of choose your technology from there really. But no, there's some great stuff out this year. So hopefully we can find something to help you putt better.
Hopefully, yeah. Nice one. Thank you for that.
Cool. Well done.